How we doing today? Connor.
Wonderful. Can you hear me all right?
Perfectly.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to start running this. What's going on, guys? This is the Connor Recca Show. Guys, you guys already know this is a fast 30-minute chat about my experience and also the experience of other operators. We don't really share the fluff. We don't do the whole introduction. We don't do the long bios. We're here to educate those who are listening and give you guys strategies of implementation. We want to leave you guys with action steps that you guys are excited to implement and also can change your business today. And I want you guys to know everyone I do bring on here, they've been filtered. They're already winning a business. They have good mindset. They have their things together. And I want you guys to always trust in the future that that's what you guys are getting when you guys are coming to the Connor Recca Show. Okay. Today we have Ross Dillon, who wholesales out of Phoenix. He's been investing for quite some time. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, what do people need to know about you, Ross?
Well, born and raised New Jersey, so we're straight shooters. If you're easily offended by the God honest truth, I would just stop the show now. But no, we're straight shooters. We get shit done. A little bit of a foul mouth, but very focus driven, determined, and we do not stop. So I took that energy, shifted across the nation, and this business is not for the faint of heart. So you just got to go all in, put your head down, and freaking do the work. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly. Where are you doing business out of, and where are you guys like spending your marketing money and stuff like that?
Great question. We've made a lot of pivots since 2020, from doing it just in New Jersey, like I was doing northern New Jersey, just a few select counties over there. Then we expanded to kind of like Pennsylvania, South Jersey, Delaware. Like we did an expansion, and then took that into like 12 states with my one previous business owner. Now, from there, when I moved out to Phoenix, I shifted to a nationwide model. So nationwide, the benefit for that is the lead cost is obviously a lot lower. So lower lead quality, but you can be in the middle of nowhere when your backyard's the entire nation. Things get they get a little bit more difficult. So I think you need to have the appropriate team size for a nationwide model. And since then, I've kind of honed it down. I am solely focused on the state of Ohio right now, who's actually tightening up their regulations. So I don't know how long this is going to be. You kind of have to be this like chameleon. It's like when things change in the industry, which they do, it feels like quarterly. You gotta pivot immediately. If you don't, and you get stuck in your ways, and like this is the way we do it, this is how we always have done it. That's your ego, and that's going to be a big freaking problem as you move forward.
100%, guys. As you guys can tell, there's some experience in this conversation with Ross, and he is the guy when it comes to this wholesaling. So he's been doing it for a while, and I want you guys to all get the value out of it. And I'm gonna do my best to extract the most out of Ross. So wholesaling is, you said it before, it's not for the faint of heart. It's one of the hardest entry level businesses in the world, in my opinion. I have a huge belief that if you can get through wholesaling, you can get into any other business and succeed from the lessons, from the grit that you have acquired in wholesaling. And it's because you get rejected daily. Like you actually get rejected daily. You know what I mean? Cash flow can be inconsistent. Deals coming in, it can take longer than usual. And you just get tested constantly from sellers, from buyers, from attorneys, from maybe your own personal relationships. You're always being tested in this game. And that is the game of business. But I feel like wholesaling is totally elevated. But at the same time, it's pretty rewarding, right? You can hit really big on some deals. You can have excellent months. You can solve a lot of problems that help a lot of people. You're pretty much the center point of a lot of people making money in the real estate industry. So we're doing God's work, and it is rewarding. So today I want to talk about pretty much the mind required to survive this, or to be successful, or to get through the rain. Because I really believe after you get through the storm, and the rain, it's a lot better. You know, you have systems in place, you have teams, you understand how to talk to sellers, you have more exit strategies. But before you get to that point, it's pretty difficult. So I want to start off with this question. You're around a lot of other wholesalers. You've been wholesaling yourself for some time. Is it possible that some wholesalers will struggle more than others, and why?
Absolutely. Um, when you get into something new and fresh, you have what's called uninformed optimism, right? I'm not saying be a cynical bastard and be like, oh, this is going to be terrible, right? Don't go in with
Mhm.
that. Be optimistic, but keep your ego in check. You're going to go in and you are going to get stripped down naked and broken into smithereens daily. So every time you thought you had a difficult day, that is literally just the beginning. It's like the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
So the wholesalers that I notice survive is the will to win. They are so competitive, and I'm not talking with other business owners. It's great to have some friendly competition, but I'm talking internally competitive. Of what I am today is nothing to what I'm going to be tomorrow. And you're almost embarrassing yesterday's version of yourself because you go through so many things every day, and it is a lot, as you said, between sellers cursing you out, issues at title, attorneys stepping in, title company reps that don't know their ass from their elbow, buyers trying to beat you down on price, marketing expenses going up every year, competition going up, right? So there's so many things that work against you, but you have to ignore all of the outer competition and focus on the internal competition. And I've noticed that the wholesalers that are internally focused as opposed to externally focused are the ones that tend to thrive. They make decisions quickly and they're very slow to change their mind, if at all.
Can you go deeper into like what do you mean the internal competition? I feel like I have a good picture of what that looks like, and I battle that competition every day, but like put it into some figurative language for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's waking up ready to freaking take on the world, starting your day with gratitude. And I highly recommend if you are not at the gym before your day starts, um, it's really going to affect you on the phones and it's going to affect your kind of grit. You got to get gritty. So what I like to do daily is like I wake up with no alarm and my night starts
Mhm.
the day before. I have an alarm at night which basically says no more tech. And that's when I start reading. No blue lights, nothing. And when I start getting really tired, I will then call it. So I start my day the night before, which is its own form of discipline. And then when I start the day, I'm waking up naturally, right? So I'm going to bed so early that the natural wake up is fine. And I then immediately go right into the gym and I literally beat the shit out of my body. Like unforgiving, painful workouts, whether that's lifting, if you're doing sprints, climbing, hundreds of flights of stairs, whatever you can do to get the heart rate up, break a sweat, and honestly leave feeling like someone kind of kicked your ass. So when you do that and you start your day with suck, as I call it, you shower, you get a healthy meal in, you drink water relentlessly, then you begin your day. All the things that matter after that you thought mattered, they don't. They truly don't because you already pushed yourself willingly to the absolute limit physically, which I feel hurts a hell of a lot more than someone saying, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." Click. That's like, oh man, that was easy. So it
Right.
gives you this internal confidence to then take on the day. And if you're mentally then working on your skills, you're going through sales training, you're studying human nature, psychology, you're reading that script over and over and over again and beating the shit out of that script. So you have your script down, which then you graduate to having a sales framework, because these sellers are going to disrupt you and everything is going to go off the beaten path so much. But if you have that framework dialed in where you could bring them back into the script and have a repeatable process every time and do that over and over again to the point where it gets boring, you have now won the mental game. So you did the physical and mental game at the gym. Now you're doing the mental and rep game on the phones or through training. And then honestly, like, you're doing so many difficult things that everything just gets easier. It's almost like you already climbed Mount Everest. Now it's time to ski down the other side. That's kind of how the rest of the day goes. I'm not saying that's every day, but I'm saying most days when you are pushed to the absolute limit after you've done all that stuff, I would say it's like you're back in like 6th or 7th grade, as opposed to you're feeling like you're in 3rd grade and you're in a PhD course. Does that make sense?
It does. That is so interesting. And right now, I'm trying to find a new me. Like, I'm really trying to find an extra gear right now. And I'm really testing things out. I've been going to the gym after work for the past like 9 to 12 months. I used to do it before. That was like during a breakup. So I had like that different side of me. And I was different then. And now I'm different now. But I'm trying to find an extra gear. And I might actually test out the whole no technology at a certain time, natural wake up. I already naturally wake up before my alarm all the time, so it's gonna work out. And then honestly hitting the gym early in the morning. Like, I'm really right next to the gym. So like I could just go there pretty quickly. And I wanna see and I wanna ask, like, were you always like this for the past couple years, or did this come from like testing out different things to figure out what works? And do you feel like this is like, is this the sauce for you, or do you think this is the sauce for like everyone?
I mean, it's the sauce for high performers. Was I always like this? God, no. I'm a lifelong guinea pig. um, Now, certain people, they just can't do the mornings, but again, I think that's horseshit, because I worked
Right.
nights for almost 2 decades, and I literally forced myself into becoming a morning person. And anytime there's an excuse, typically that obstacle is the way. Because
Mm,
if you do something long enough, it is just you. It becomes you. It is your new identity. You can smash your old identity to smithereens 3 months before, and you could go hang out with people that haven't seen you in only one business quarter, and they're going to be like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And if you start noticing that around the people that are really close to you, they're going to start to get a little bit pissed, a little bit jealous, and that's when you're on the right track. So those are some patterns that I notice where you're saying no more frequently than you're saying yes, and you're just locked in to doing the same. It's Groundhog's Day every day. You're just locked into doing the same repeatable, boring stuff every day. And the reason why I say the word boring is you're proficient. You're always going to learn and grow a little bit more, but getting from level one to level 80 compared to level 80 to level 81 is going to be way harder and less noticeable. So I'm not saying that out of a way of arrogance. I'm saying it's going to be more and more difficult. You'll notice the huge wins up front, but not so much as the years go on. But those are some things. So I recommend, just like, even just for the sake of getting uncomfortable, Connor. Like, if you're like, I don't really have a tech alarm. I'm up too late. There's blue light, and I'm right next door to the gym. Throw your whole shit off, just for fun. Like, just be like, I'm gonna do something wildly different today, and then try that out for like 2 to 4 weeks. And if it hits hard and it resonates and hits home, then that might be the new you. because you can create the new you whenever you feel like it. I think when you say, "Oh, is this like who you are, or were you always like this?" No, because you're kind of reinventing yourself. Like noticeably, I would say every year at least you should be unrecognizable from the prior year. But when you really step up your game and you start hanging out with people that are way more successful, way more disciplined, and you are the dumbest guy in the room, you're now the smartest guy in the room. Do you get what that means?
Yeah, I really fancy that. I'm actually going to try it out. One recent one that I did was sparring with my cousin. So I don't know if you guys see my social media videos. I was not able to box like that even like 2.5 months ago. But me and my cousin's a boxer. He was like, Connor, let's just spar. Let's put on the gloves. Let's work on your skills, defend yourself. And now I'm getting pretty good. And I feel so much different since not boxing and to boxing. And it's fun and it brings a whole nother side of me. So I 100% agree. And I'm going to keep doing that, guys. And everyone listening, guys, we have to keep elevating. I'm a results driven person, Ross. So I want to know, based on your testimony on how you changed yourself over and over again, what were some of like those like light bulb results where you're like, oh my goodness, I do feel better, but it's actually showing externally, or maybe more deals are getting done or more conversations are happening. What metric really surprised you when you were like, okay, I need to keep changing myself. I need to keep becoming new, specifically every year. I need to make sure that my days are perfect. If I run the same day over and over and over again, am I going to get to level 80? What was that? Did you was it always internal, or was there an external factor that like totally changed as well as you changed?
Um, it's honestly both. It's both. When I was a little bit younger, I was focused more on external and kind of like recognition and things like that. And now I could give two shits about it. I could give absolutely two shits. I only use internal metrics. The external today come as a byproduct, yeah, but I don't really. It just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. Internal metrics are. I'm starting to get the feeling of I'm bored, or I'm noticing that I'm starting to lay off the gas a little bit. I'm starting to get lenient with myself. And that's when you have to police yourself. It is a sign from the universe or God, and it's basically saying, dude, you're getting bored. What's next? Because if you keep getting more and more bored, you know what people do with too much
Yep,
free time. It's
exactly.
it's nothing beneficial, and it's typically self-sabotaging. Been there. So it just comes down to what works for you. It's all subjective. Some people want external results and metrics and are going to be very numbers driven. And if I do this and do this over time, my bank account's going to look like this. That's great, right? But you're going to get to a certain point, and especially in wholesaling, I think you can, even just doing it on your own, you can make more than $20,000 a month. That's just on your own. If you look at society, like 20K a month, that's a pretty good living. Like that is. That's like you can honestly, you're not worrying about bills anymore. You can go out to restaurants, you can invest, you could save a little bit, and you could live in a pretty nice pad too. And maybe even have a car. If you want like a baller car, then jump it up to 25K a month. But when you exceed that, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. All the shit, you're young, you're in your 20s, so like your life is going to be focused typically more on the external. It's more about the money, it's more about the validation, it's more about the praise. And that's just how you are in your 20s. But when you graduate into your 30s or even 40s and beyond, you're just going to reinvent. You're going to be like, I don't even know how many identities different. You might have gone through 30 to 50 more identities.
Wow.
And what you are today will be so far unrecognizable that you're not even gonna know why you wanted what you wanted at this time to begin with. And that's a good sign. That's where like wisdom, gratitude, and truly leveling up and being a wealth of everything in life, a wealth of knowledge. So you're wise, your faith is dialed in, your finances are dialed in, your fitness is dialed in, your family is dialed in, and you're still like pouring in to every one of those buckets as still every day as much as possible to get even better because it's infinite. Everything is infinite. You can't be perfect ever. You never will be. And if you were, let's just say perfection did exist, life would be a bore. It'd be straight.
I agree. That's interesting to look at. Everything is infinite. You'll never achieve perfection. And that's honestly, that's beautiful. Because that means you can always get better. You're never actually at the top of the mountain of all mountains. There's more mountains. I love that. There's also a huge thing when it comes to like the vanity metrics and the external results because it's all a lagging indicator. I
Mhm.
say this to my brothers all the time. I say, hey, the value we give today will never be returned today. I promise you, it will never, ever be returned today. The value you give today is probably going to return in 3 months. So the money that we're making right now came from 3 months ago.
Mhm.
So we have to keep putting in work. We have to be in love. We have to be obsessed with the inputs. And if we can be obsessed with the inputs, the future will always be taken care of. So
Absolutely.
that's huge. What do you want to say to that?
No, I want to go a level deeper because I like getting deeper and so people understand kind of their whys. We were all put on this planet for a purpose. And I think living a purpose driven life is one of the most important things possible. I'm still working on my purpose. I'm starting to really hone it in, but every day, and I'm almost, I'll be 40 in a couple of years, right? But a purpose driven life is huge. So you're saying like the money we're making today, we're not even really gonna, see the fruits of our labor for about 90 days, right? The
Yes.
money is actually you.
Mm.
It's who you became and are
Oh,
today.
wow.
That's where you're going to get the results. Because if you stay the course of this new version of yourself and continue to microscopically level up every day, the money just starts to compound. The money is a byproduct of your vision and perception of how you look at the world. It's everything you're perceiving and everything you're believing. So it really has nothing to do with the work. It's the person you are. And the work is mandatory because I am an
Wow.
individual that does this.
I'm
And
going
that
to paraphrase that.
and that's when
That's
like
insane.
that's when things like really change. The money is literally that is just a silly metric. And it's never about the money. It's who am I today? And who will I be tomorrow?
So I'm going to paraphrase this because I want to make sure I capture this because this is a breakthrough, in my opinion. The input in yourself today is technically you investing into who you are in the future. And it takes work, and work is needed. It is a necessity. You can't get it through work. So don't even count that as like a factor. It's a given that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the money is just like a byproduct. Like it's not anything that we should actually be at the top of the priority list. It comes with us investing in ourselves, with training, with learning, all that stuff. You are the money, you are the value. It's really not about the actual paper.
It has nothing to do.
Damn.
It has nothing to do about money and it never will.
Dang.
It all it is your new identity today. Today is February 3rd, 2026. You will not see the fruits of this identity today until 3 months from now of this new identity. If you change nothing and you remain disciplined and how you structure your day today, let's say you didn't level up and you just stayed the same today and you did that for 3 months straight, that's when it's going to smack you in the face, the results, right? But if you continue to level up, it continues to infinitely compound. So now February 3rd, March, April, May, right? May 3rd, that identity will hit. Tomorrow, February 4th, May 4th, that identity will hit, right? So it's always this lag measure, but if you're always compounding and working on yourself and how you can add value to the world, and that goes for at scale or at mass, like mass as far as like massive problem. If I solve a $1 trillion problem, I'm going to be a billionaire. If I solve a $1 billion problem, I'm going to be a centimillionaire, right? So that's the mass. Or at scale, like horizontally, if I take this globally and I sell a product or service for cheap, then I could do it in every language around the entire globe. Does that make sense? So you can go
Yes.
that way, or you can go deep and solve less but massive problems and just do one thing for the rest of your life and go massive on it, like go super deep. So you got deep and wide. But all it is a direct correlation, meaning your bank account, that is a direct correlation of how much value you're providing to society and how many people you're touching.
What is it if you're a wholesaler and you know you're bringing tons of value, tons and tons of value to the table? You're helping sellers solve their problems, but they don't want to sell today. You're making sure you're looking for the deals that your buyers want, but you don't have a buyer. You don't have a deal for those buyers today. You're making great connections. You're going out there. You're trying to connect the dots. You're learning from the right people, but you still don't see results. What does that person need to be like telling himself right now? That it's okay? Or does he need to do more? What do you think he needs to be telling himself?
I am completely focused on all the wrong things. Find your avatar. If you're on the phone with a seller and you have a conversation and they tell you their price, you know they're negotiable based off how they're talking about their situation now, right? So there's definitely some deep pain. You're peeling back the layers of the onion. And you pop the question, if we came to an agreement on price that worked for you and worked for us, would there be anything stopping you from moving forward with paperwork today? And if there is any other answer than a emphatic no, there's nothing holding me back, I'm ready to go, you should not be on the phone with them. That's follow-up. So if you get what you tolerate. So if I'm tolerating buyers that aren't buying, they're not even going to be in my CRM. If I'm tolerating sellers and staying on the phone with a nice person, right, that is not ready to sell, that's a you problem. Every time you run into these problems, you are focused on the wrong things and you're staying on the phone with the wrong people trying to be liked. And that's all ego. You're just happy to have a conversation with someone and shoot the shit, right? That is not income generating activity, and it takes you away from solving somebody's problem who needs help now. So you have to be now driven.
That's insane. I love that. I agree. It has to be totally now driven. You actually can't be wasting time on the people who are not ready for your value. And that goes across everything. That goes across relationships, girlfriends, boyfriends, family members, anyone you're trying to help. It needs to be a two-way street. What do wholesalers? Okay, so I work with a lot of wholesalers. A lot of them are spread out. A lot of them are also young. A lot of them have friends who are not also ambitious like them. But they know they can do more. They know they can become better. They know they can make more money. They can close more deals. They can bring more value. Where do these guys need to be hanging out? Like, dude, like, is community a big thing in your playbook? What's something that these guys need to do?
You need to get in the room with people that are way more successful than you, that have proven and done where you want to be. If you hang out with your 5 gamer friends that have no goals, you will be the 6th gamer friend with no goals. If you hang out with 5 stoners, you will be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 alcoholics or cokeheads, you will be the 6th. If you hang out with people with no goals or ambitions that aren't willing to take the risk to live life on their terms, you will be the 6th. The hardest conversations I've ever had with people were essentially saying, or leaning towards, whether that's me not responding as often or just saying, hey, I'm kind of doing this right now, and unfortunately, you're really not going to hear much of me. And I don't know when this is going to stop, right? I don't know when I'm going to stop because I'm turning on the accelerator for my business. And they can either jump on board or you need to eliminate them from your life. I think the hardest conversations were eliminating some of the closer friends, some of the drinking buddies, and I just evolved. And I thought that was the most difficult. Between getting rid of friends and honing in your circle into a community of like-minded people or people that are already at where you want to be, and then trying to convince your family that you're not crazy, those are the two most difficult conversations. It's friends and family. You're talking about your vision, and they're like, I just think that's a dumb idea. I think you should go to school, right? So honestly just going all in on yourself and being like, honestly, fuck everybody else's opinion. I'm doing this. And I'm going to hang out with people that are smarter, better, and have even more ambition than I am, so they force me to level up. They are your lifeline, and they pull you up instead of everybody else who brings you down.
Guys, take your notes. Seriously, I'm literally gonna rewatch this video. It's a true mindset shift. It's a true call to action. Ross, a lot of young guys are around you and your boys. You guys are big on social media. You guys are actively posting. I always see another face on there that I don't know, but I see your guys. So I already know people gravitate toward you guys. What it's so easy how nowadays you could do that via social media. You know what I mean? Like you can literally connect with people instantly and be of value. I'm just curious from your perspective when people gravitate towards you. I know you said like they level you up, but like as much as it is valuable for them to be in the room of people bigger than them, what is the value like on your side from your eyes on these younger guys? Like what does it take for you to invest time into them?
Them willing to go all in. I only work with very select people. I'm super particular. And if they are coming up with excuses or I got this, I can't make it, or they constantly talk about the negative, I'll basically say this isn't a good fit. You need to work on yourself. There is nothing more fulfilling in my life than helping out the younger generation as best as I possibly can. It's time for me to pass that torch. This is a young man's game. That's why I'm leaning more towards working with owners and more on the consultative approach rather than just trying to drown myself in 30 deals a month to make as much money as possible. It's like, to what end? So I'm just at a different season in my life. And for me, it's honestly seeing someone level up to the point where I change their entire fucking life forever. And it starts with the mind, the body, and then finally the soul. But if you got your mind, body, and soul pretty dialed in, anything you touch after wholesaling, you got a real thing going. And life's going to be very rewarding and a little bit easier, put it that way.
Wonderful. I agree. I believe I'm not the prime example of it, but I believe that I had a straight mind, body, and soul when I started closer control after wholesaling for 4 years. And guys, it has absolutely blew up. Like the stuff that I learned from wholesaling gave me every single weapon capability to be successful in the software world of real estate. So guys, use me as an example and also listen to Ross and get around him. Ross, I know we just hit 30 minutes, so we'll close this out. What is the number one thing that you think wholesalers need to know about this 2026 run that there's about to be this 2026 what do wholesalers need to know about this 2026 run that is about to happen?
It's a great question, and I wish I had a crystal ball. It comes down to you need to leverage your time for the highest income generating activity. Anything that is a repeatable task, you need to bring in AI. If you don't know anything about AI, you're like, I'm not really a tech person. Bullshit. It's all an excuse. Because I sucked with tech and I found a way, and at least I'm good enough. And you can always partner with someone that's way better, right? There's never, all of your excuses are, how can I do this, right? If you put your mind to it and do at least 20 hours in whatever subject and go all in, you're going to be pretty proficient. And if you hate doing it, partner up with someone who loves doing it and hates what you like, right? Yin and yang. Like you want to do that. But as far as 2026, there's going to be a lot more regulations. Don't focus on the negative. You need to get your mind locked into how. Us as entrepreneurs, we are creative problem solvers that pivot with or ahead of the times. So you need to be future thinking and find loopholes, because there's always a way to get it done. And if you think otherwise, that's another self-limiting belief, and you got to work on the man in the mirror.
Let's freaking go. Ross, thank you so much. Guys, if this helped you, rewatch it and then send it also to a friend that definitely needs to hear about this. Ross, this was amazing. Where do people find you?
I'm big on Instagram. I check my DMs pretty frequently. It's Instagram. It's real_Ross, ROSS. Other than that, yeah, just hit me up, DM me there, or I'm with the whole closer control. A lot of the community, you're gonna feel a tidal wave coming through, Connor. Big things are happening for you in your world. You deserve all of it, and I'm just excited for 2026 and what's to come, and everybody else should be. And I think they're in the right spot.
Let's go. You guys are also hosting an event in another country. Can you just talk about that really quickly?
That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. Would have slipped my mind. We're hosting an event in Medellin, Colombia. It's May 15th to 17th this year. And it's going to be wild. We're going to have some big time real estate investors. We're going to have some big time mindset people. And this is going to be not only a business and investor kind of journey, it's going to be a mindset and spiritual journey. We're going to take you to some of the best restaurants. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to overlook the city. And we're going to basically help you heal any sort of trauma or internal limiting belief systems, so you can essentially get the fuck out of your comfort zone and then level up. Because when you get outside your comfort zone and you continually do that every single day, all the stuff that you were sweating and procrastinating on becomes that much easier. And when you don't procrastinate, you focus on the right things, that's when your business is going to thrive. So if you find a business owner that is struggling, it's not the business, it's the business owner's mind. So we're going to be working on that. I highly recommend checking it out. I'm super excited. There are going to be some excellent speakers. We do have tickets for sale on Eventbrite, and we'll be promoting it on our social media, but it's Medellin 2026. Get the fuck out of your comfort zone.
Let's go. And me and all the brothers and the whole Closer Control team, we're also going to be there as well. So if you guys show up, you get to shake all of our hands. Ross, thank you so much. Guys, I appreciate you for getting this far with us. You guys already know we're going to have more conversations like this, and we're going to have Ross again. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks again, Connor.